It's a new season, let go of the past. No more strip teasing, I'm free at last. So I love pleasing, you're pleasing me back. Feeling weak at the knees, I won't leave it at that. Got my fate sealed with your powerful mind, 'cause you're making me feel that look in your eyes like a well-played deal. You get better with time, but I'd rather have you than a bottle of wine. And I'm making it last. Keep the record repeating, I need it till it scratches. A chord changes, a shadow cast, but mystery hits on the phonograph. She's in a body to go, and she's ready to go. She's in a body to go, and she's ready to go. Gonna take you in my arms tonight, take you on a long flight. Gonna take you in my arms tonight. I'm not gonna land till you feel the light. Gonna take you in my arms tonight, and take you on a long flight. Gonna take you in my arms tonight. I'm not gonna land till you feel the light. Gonna take you in my arms tonight, and take you on a long flight. Gonna take you in my arms tonight. I'm not gonna land till you feel the light. Take you in my arms tonight, take you on a long flight. Gonna take you in my arms tonight. I'm not gonna land till you feel the light.
Well, if you hadn't figured it out from the introductory video this morning, we're going to be talking about a special person, talking with a special person, and talking about a special theme called Body of Gold. That was the song Body of Gold by Izze Stein that you heard during the introduction, and that's who we're going to be having join us as our guest today. So put on the brakes, grab a cup of coffee, and join the conversation, because it's time for Coffee Breaks with Steve. Welcome to Coffee Breaks with Steve. I am Steve Glavan, and this is the show where we come together around our virtual coffee table each week and join the conversation. Wow, hang on. Welcome to Coffee Breaks with Steve. I'm Steve Glavan, and this is the show where we come together around our virtual coffee table each week and join the conversation to chat about interesting topics with amazing guests. If you're joining for the first time today, forgive the fact that I'm stumbling over my words and need more coffee, but welcome. And if you've been with us before, welcome back. We are going to be joined today by our dear friend Izze Stein, who's been on the show a couple times before. She has been on tour recently after releasing her debut album earlier this year, and it's just fun to catch up with Izze and see what she has going on, what her tour has been providing by way of experiences so far, and what else she's got happening. So thank you for being here. I know a few of you are on here saying hello. Shalane found us. I'm glad you found us. I hope that wasn't too much trouble. Kim Baker, good morning, afternoon, and happy Saturday. Absolutely, Kim. Carissa had that's all right. You can have whatever brain freezes and everything else that you need. Thank you, and thank you both, Shalane and Chris, of making sure everybody drinks whenever I do it. That's important. Yeah, it's been, another busy and interesting week. Got a lot going on, got a lot coming up. And with that in mind, why don't we talk about our sweet and savory? Because one of the things I think most of you are aware, I've posted on Facebook, talked about it a little bit here, but for the last several weeks, we always during the summer have grandkid visits. And one of the key ones is that our two older grandsons, Remy and Jameson, who live in California, I am going to need more of whatever. Remy and Jameson typically come and spend around a month, 5 weeks with us during the summer. We used to live down in not too far away from them, and they were with us on a regular basis. And since we've moved out of California to Eastern Washington State, trying to find those times to have the grandsons here has created a different schedule. And they come to see us usually during the month of July. They have been here. We've been having a lot of adventures, and they just left to go home yesterday. And it's a mixed bag of emotions when that time comes. And primarily we just regret having to say goodbye, but took them to the airport yesterday, make sure that they were ready to board their flight, and then said goodbye as they got on board and headed back home. We know they got home safely. I'm gratified to know that we had a fantastic time. Gratified seems like a weird word. I'm thrilled that we had such a fun time with them during their visit here. And one of the things that made it a little less difficult to say goodbye to them, school starts for them quite early. They start school next week. And both of them repeated over and over again how excited they are for school. Remy is going into his sophomore year in high school. Jameson is just starting high school as a freshman. And they both at different times, as so many of us did in times in our school life when school's kind of boring, or I don't like it that much, or had this issue or that issue. And the fact that they're both talking about how excited they are for the school year was really a great feeling. So Remy and Jameson, thank you so much for the summer adventures and fun that you provided being here, and wishing you both that you follow through on the excitement. The excitement follows through for you as the school year starts. Hey, wanted to share something very exciting from one of our friends. Beth Roars is another individual who's been on the show a couple of times. She is a YouTube reactor who reacts to different music. She is a music instructor, voice teacher, and singer. She's released her own album of music. And on YouTube, she just within the last couple of weeks reached 1 million subscribers on her YouTube channel. 1 million subscribers. This is actually a screenshot from the video where Beth and her partner Tom were online live when they watched the number roll over to 1 million, and celebrating that moment. And we celebrate along with Beth and Tom, and just say congratulations, Beth, for reaching that milestone, and it is well deserved. She is an amazing YouTube reactor. If you're not already subscribed to her channel, I would strongly recommend you go to YouTube, not right now because you're here, but go to YouTube after the show and find Beth Roars and follow her channel, follow how she does reactions and analysis to different music artists, and find her album itself and listen to her music. I think also referenced on her YouTube channel. One birthday this week that we want to celebrate, and that is another friend of this channel, is a friend of mine, Elisa Hurwitz. She's celebrating a birthday today. Lisa goes by the handle Dr. Drama. She is a psychologist who works in the therapy community, but she has a big focus on the arts and on working with people in the theater community. And just want to wish a happy birthday to Elisa. She's joined us on the show before to talk about things that are relevant to what she does. But yes, happy birthday, Elisa. I hope you're celebrating big time today. Do you have a special day this week that I missed somehow? Maybe I didn't know about it. Maybe I did, and I just somehow overlooked it. But one way or another, would you please let us know in the chat if there's a day we're supposed to be celebrating with you? And if you have a special day coming up throughout the month of August, September, later in this year, even early into next year, somewhere in that 365-day cycle that you want to make sure we get on our calendar and celebrate and acknowledge with you, you can send us an email with that information to cbwsteve@comcast.net. We'll make sure that we get it into our Sweet and Savory. The other thing you can do is maybe you know about a special news event. So we like to share good news, upbeat news on Sweet and Savory as well. Maybe you've heard about something special going on that you would like us to include in our Sweet and Savory segment. You can also, to that same email address, let us know about that. And we will make sure that we look into that and can include it in a Sweet and Savory segment. All right. What else do we have coming up? Well, we have a special guest today, and it's one that you may have joined us in the past to see and hear about, Izze Stein. I want to tell you a little bit about Izze in a minute. First, just want to look to see who else has signed on here that we haven't said good morning or good meowing to. Did I say good morning to Jerry yet? Good morning, Jerry. I'm glancing through the comments here. If you have just joined us and you have not yet said hello in the chat, would you please do so that we know that you're here and we can say hi back to you. Kathy is here. What did Shalene say? Many happy returns. Yeah, Kathy's asking what many happy returns actually means. I think I actually looked into that without, getting too much into weird trivia. The returns of your birthday, so many happy returns, so cycles, basically annual cycles, I think is what that means, and more birthdays. It's kind of like that, happy birthday to you and many more. Or maybe it's not, maybe it means something entirely different. Somebody look it up online and correct what's going on here. I want to tell you about our guest, and then I want to share my conversation with Izze. A singer, songwriter driven by a deep desire to help others heal, Izze Stein is both empathetic and empowering. Born on the stages and jazz clubs of New York City, Izze is an unsigned independent artist who has made frequent appearances at the Apollo Theater, Birdland Jazz Club, Joanne Trattoria. Is it Trattoria or Trattoria? She's been there. And Wallace Lounge. Izze has opened for many R&B and soul artists, including Audio Oasis at Palm Heights in the Cayman Islands and Morgan James at the Sellersville Theater. In addition, Izze is part of Hometown Music Group, a Nashville-based writing and publishing company. Izze's sound is influenced by Erykah Badu, Alicia Keys, Joni Mitchell, Cleo Sol, and Amy Winehouse. Her current songs revolve around the theme of searching for self-value. Izze hopes to give those who relate to her stories space to feel and release any emotional pain they may have. Her goal in life is to use her voice to connect the world and open as many hearts as possible. Izze's debut album, Questions, debuted earlier this year, and she's currently in the middle of her international Body of Gold tour. We're going to talk about that. Here is Izze Stein. Izze Stein, welcome back to Coffee Breaks with Steve. It's great to see you again.
Steve, great to be here as always. How exciting.
It is exciting, and your year has been exciting. The last time you were with us, which was back in February, you had just dropped your album, Questions, and you came on and we talked about the album and about the entire launch of that. And since then, you just had a lot going on. I'm wondering, first of all, with the drop of the album in February, between then and now, kind of how has that been? What have you seen happening around the release of the album?
It's been so exciting to be with new and old groups of people, and now for them to have a product that I worked so hard on, my stories and all the work in the recording and the mixing, the mastering of the album. Now that it's complete, now this thing that I've been talking about for years, like, oh, I'm working on this album, oh, I'm recording this album, now it's actually out. So it's really, for some people, it's the first thing that they know of me. Before they even meet me, they've heard the music, and then I'm here live and in person and able to share, more behind the scenes or a behind the stories rather.
Yeah.
And it's just been amazing to share such a big piece of myself in such a broad way, and to see how people are connecting with it in so many different places. It's very, very exciting.
So do you have people coming up to you when you're doing gigs and concerts, and they come up to talk to you and say, I heard you're singing on the album and been looking forward to seeing you in person?
Yeah, I mean, for a lot of my tour, we'll get into that, but these venues that I perform with, they'll post me on their social media, and then people who are interested in going to the venue will check me out before they decide to go. And so they'll listen to my music, and then they meet me and they're like, wow, like I just heard your songs and now I met you in person. And I am really proud of these songs. So I'm happy that that is for some people a first impression. It's working out, I would say.
And you mentioned the tour, and you launched I was going to say across country, but in a way it's been an around the world tour starting in June, and it's taken you everywhere from Stockholm back to the west coast of the United States. You were in California. Talk a little bit about this, and that's only the first half of the tour. You're kind of in a little brief hiatus as you get ready here in a couple of weeks to launch the second half of the tour. What has the first part of this tour been like for you?
So the reason I decided to do a tour is because I started booking a lot of kind of random out of town shows. And then I thought, what if I tried booking a full tour? I've booked 90% of this tour myself as an independent artist. So I just started doing this campaign where I would reach out to cities. I would look up every venue in the city that I could perform at. I would email all of them and say, hey, I'm booking my first tour. Would you like to host my blank debut, my Stockholm debut, my San Francisco debut? And a lot of these I probably reached out to, I want to say like 200 venues. And then from that, I got this list of about 15. And and once I had all of the arrangements and all of the venues booked, I announced the tour. And so yeah, it's been amazing going to all these different I mean, some of these places I've never sung before, so people that I never would have come in contact with are now people that follow me and are on the journey. So it's been exciting.
I want to specifically talk about Stockholm for a minute.
Yes,
Was
let's
that
do
the
it.
first opportunity to perform in a European or international venue, or have you had opportunities like that before?
I've performed in Canada, I've performed in the Cayman Islands, but never in Europe. So when I knew I had a travel plan to go to Stockholm, and actually the shirt I'm wearing is very Stockholm vibes. There's a lot of like streamlined patterns and solid. It's kind of funny. Actually, we went to one of the malls. I'll answer your question. It's just funny.
Yeah, no.
We went to this mall in Stockholm, and it was funny because like there were so many stores, but like most of them looked the same. Like it was like you went to one store and like, oh, a bunch of solid colored sweaters and striped shirts, and then the next store, oh, there's also solid colored sweaters, and it's interesting it's just different in the United States. I feel like everything is so unique. Like that's what defines us. But with Stockholm, I knew I had a travel plan to go to Stockholm. So I reached out I had a couple friends in Stockholm, musician friends. And so I started with them. They recommended a few places. I reached out to them. From those places, I got a list of all of the other venues. I reached out to all of them and asking, would you be interested in hosting my European debut? And I heard back from this one restaurant Artilleria, and they were so gracious, and we would be honored to host someone like you at our restaurant. I ended up closing out their jazz series for the summer, because that's the other thing about Europe. Everyone goes on vacation in June. So I like got there just in time to perform in their jazz series. And it was wild because most of the people there, Swedish was their first language, and a lot of them spoke English, but not everyone. So here I am singing all these jazz standards and pop songs, and I really was starting to get a gauge of like, what do people in Stockholm know? At least this sample size audience that I get, they definitely knew and loved ABBA. That was like a whole thing.
Oh yeah.
They knew, they did not know Alicia Keys, but they did know Amy Winehouse. So it's just interesting. This, like in the United States, we think that everybody knows what we know, but that's just not the case. And it's almost surprising the artists that hit in other places versus, I mean, Alicia Keys, I thought, surely with Empire State of Mind and If I Ain't Got You, that's like a huge song, but maybe not everywhere. So, but Amy Winehouse, they're like, oh, we love Rehab. And so interesting. It was interesting.
You spent a little bit of time in California as
Yes.
part of the first part of that tour, and you had several opportunities in California. You had a couple of appearances on local and regional television
Yes.
shows where you got to talk about your album, you got to talk about the Body of Gold tour, and even share some of your music with the live band. Talk about that experience a little bit.
I've never performed my music on TV before. I've never even really done TV. I mean, I post all these videos on my social media where it's like me with a selfie camera, but it's completely different when it's live. I mean, and like doing a live stream is one thing because, it's friendly and it's a lot of people, but this is for Studio 40 Live, which is the first one I did and the first one I'd ever done. It was just me, and there was a microphone and my backing track. We rehearsed it once. And then the producer said, okay, 90 seconds. I was like, okay, we're going to go on 90 seconds. And I'm staring at this black lens, and I'm thinking to myself, I have no idea who is on the other end of this. How many people? It could be 10 people. It could be 10,000 people. I mean, it's a local station, so it probably wasn't millions of people. But still, it's like, I don't know. I've never even been to this part of the country. Like, I don't know who's going to be engaging with this. So I guess I just have to give it my all and hope that people respond. And the hosts on that show were so friendly. It was such a nurturing first TV experience. And then the next one I did where I performed with my band, those hosts were lovely too. And they were really excited about the music. They're like, where can I find this? The hosts are like adding me on Spotify. The TV anchors, like the people that you see on TV, they go to a commercial break and they're like, how do you spell your name again? And it was really, really cool. But the thing about TV is that, you don't have an audience giving you any energy. You just have to supply it and just go for it. So a little nerve-wracking in a very different way.
And you did have the opportunity on Good Day Sacramento, you said, with the live band, but you got to perform the song Body of Gold.
Yes.
And let's just take a minute here for the people who are tuning in today to share that appearance and share that song with them.
Yeah.
She is a super talented singer with fusions of R&B and jazz, and she's singing the national anthem tonight at the A's game. John is standing by with all the details.
Yeah, we've been fortunate enough to listen to the rehearsal so far. Izze Stein is joining us. Good morning. Thanks for being with us.
Hey, thank you so much for having me.
Okay, so we're going to hear you in a second, but before we do, can you introduce the band for us?
Yes, this is Bo on the drums. This is Adam on the bass.
Gentlemen,
we actually
thanks
met
for
yesterday,
coming.
and they're a great vibe, so I'm thrilled to have
you
them.
guys have been great this morning. So tell us about your musical journey, because as Courtney mentioned, it's kind of like jazzy R&B. Where do all those influences come from?
So I am from New York City, and I've sung in jazz clubs for the last 6 years. I've sung at Birdland. I've also sung at the Apollo four times, which is an amazing experience.
Yeah.
And yeah, my influences range from Alicia Keys to Erykah Badu and Amy Winehouse, and I love the free nature of jazz and R&B.
Those are good influences. We mentioned you're singing the national anthem tonight, but you've done this before. I saw you did it at a Sixers game.
Yes.
I've heard that it's a super hard song to sing. Is that true?
Yes, it has a huge range. It goes really low, and then all of a sudden it goes really high, and then some people take it even higher. So yeah, and it's also a really impactful song. It's about the country we're in. So it's definitely, you feel a lot of pressure to live up to the hundreds of years of history that you're singing about.
So you also have another show coming up in Nevada City. What can folks expect out there?
That's right. We'll be at the Golden Era Lounge on Friday. We're going to play a lot of more originals from my album, which is what I'm playing today. And we're also going to do a lot of jazz and R&B covers. And you can expect to have a lot of fun.
And we should mention your music is available on all the streaming services?
Right. Yeah.
All right, so what are you going to play for us today?
We're going to play my song Body of Gold, which is on my debut album Questions, which came out earlier this year.
All right, she's Izze Stein. You can see her tonight at the A's game or Friday at the Golden Era Lounge in Nevada City. Take it away.
All right. 1, 2, 3. It's a new season, let go of the past. No more strip teasing, I'm free at last. Oh, I love pleasing, you're pleasing me back. Feeling weak at the knees, I will leave it at that. Got my fate sealed with your powerful mind. Yeah, you're making me feel that a look in your eyes like a well-played deal. You get better with time, but I'd rather have you than a bottle of wine. She's In this new season, I'm making it last. Keep that record repeating. I need it till it scratches. A chord changes, a shadow cast, but mystery hits on the phonograph in a body of gold. Oh, when you're ready to go. Oh, in your body of gold. Get it ready, get it ready, get it ready to go. Let me take you into my arms tonight and take you on a long flight. Let me take you into my arms tonight. We're not gonna land till you're feeling right. I'll take you into my arms tonight and take you on a very, very long flight. Ooh,
Now, while you were in Sacramento, you had another interesting opportunity, and that was for a Major League Baseball game. Some people may not know that the Oakland Athletics, who are getting ready to make a move to Las Vegas, as other Oakland teams have been doing. We won't get into that. We don't want to start a row or a rumble or anything, but they are getting ready to move. And in the interim, they're temporarily using Sacramento as their home base. And you had the opportunity while you were in Sacramento to sing the national anthem for an Oakland Athletics Atlanta Braves baseball game. Can you talk about that experience a little bit?
The national anthem experience is just, there's nothing like it, because everybody's watching in the stadium and everybody knows what the song is supposed to sound like. And it's a song that's been sung maybe even billions of times. I mean, it's like maybe like the #1 song in America, like of all time.
Right.
And when I was younger, I sang a few national anthems. I was able to do the Philadelphia 76ers when I was 12, which was very exciting for my Philadelphia sports team loving family. But I hadn't done one since, because it just wasn't really on my radar. As I discussed in a previous episode, I was more on a musical theater track, and it's just not really as much a part of the musical theater world to be doing national anthems. Whereas as a singer, it's actually something that is right in line with what I'm doing. It's my voice. So I knew I was going to be in Sacramento. I found the girl who sang the national anthem at the A's game a couple weeks prior. I reached out to her on Instagram. I was like, this is so amazing. How did you make this happen? And she was so generous. She shared with me the booker of Sutter Health Park. And I reached out to the booker and they booked me. And what's amazing about this girl, whose name is Alexa, is she came to my show in Nevada City and with her friend, and the three of us became like best friends. And that was truly just through a social media meet. So that was really, really cool to see. But the national anthem, the sound check was actually 10 seconds, and it wasn't even on the field. I went up to the sound booth. They handed me a mic. They're like, okay. I went, oh, say. They're like, okay, great. Got all we need. I was like, wow. And then,
I hope so.
yeah. I was like, do you want me to sing like the loud part? They said, no, we got I guess they're so used to it. So then I went back, elevator down, and like, it's not backstage, I guess backfield area,
Yeah.
You walk out and then you're on the field, and then they're just like, okay, it's similar to TV, like 90 seconds, and then hand you a mic. And just, I felt really happy with, I really prepared how I was going to sing the national anthem, because I really would like to do it again. And so it's a somewhat challenging song with the range and the meaning behind it. And yeah. And then the best.
And for some
part,
people, Izzy,
yeah.
challenging part is remembering the lyrics.
Yes.
That's been an issue for a lot of very, very famous singers, and it follows them over and over again on recorded video. So were you concerned about that, or did you feel pretty confident with yourself in the lyrics?
I feel it's soldered into my soul at this point.
Yeah.
Luckily, I guess because I did it when I was little. It's kind of like
Sure.
you play piano when you're little. But the best part of the anthem was right after I finished singing, the mascot of the A's, Stomper, came right up to me. And I'm just like, honestly, when I knew I was singing the anthem, I thought I really want to meet Stomper. And then right after I sang, he came up to me. We danced, we laughed. I cried a little bit. It was amazing. So
what an experience. Those moments that you're never going to forget, and they can be in their own way life-changing, right?
yeah, Stomper was pretty life-changing.
So you decided to call this tour the Body of Gold Tour, and with that, you've had a lot going on your YouTube channel in recent months around the song Body of Gold, which is one of the tracks on your album Questions.
Yes.
And it's been fun to watch because you came up with a dance, a choreography for Body of Gold, and on your YouTube channel, you were doing it in a variety of places. You'd be going down the street in the middle of New York doing the Body of Gold dance. You've done it in venues in California, and you took time on YouTube to teach the dance. Where did that concept come from? Why did you decide that the Body of Gold needed choreography?
A lot of these trends on TikTok you see are dance trends. And I actually today just saw that the dance trend right now is the Law and Order theme. All these people are doing this like very groovy kind of sharp movement dance. And I'm like, all right, I guess that's what's happening. And I felt that the messaging of the song Body of Gold, which this tour, I'm calling it the Body of Gold Tour. Summer is the time to feel great about yourself and to be outside and to experience and to do things differently. And I just feel this song is the major themes include empowerment and owning yourself. And I felt, if I can show like myself experiencing this empowerment and gold body and soul and movement, then perhaps I can inspire others to do the same. And it's been really fun getting people to do the dance with me on my account. And I still want to try to get other people, dance influencers or just anyone who sees the dances and is inspired. It would be great to see other people doing it too. Honestly, after seeing the Law and Order dance this morning, I worry that I made the movement a little bit too complicated musical theater movement. But, I did teach it to a dozen people at my So Far show in San Francisco, including a bunch of kids under the age of like 8. And the kids under 8 actually picked it up the quickest. So I'm still hopeful that other people can feel the fun of the dance themselves. And honestly, if it's just me doing it in a bunch of places, there may or may not be a video coming out at the end of the summer that shows that. So we'll see.
It could be fun. It could be fun to have a montage up there of some sort. I want to take a moment, if it's okay with you, Izzy, to go ahead and share the video of you teaching the moves for the Body of Gold dance that's on your YouTube. So we're going to take a moment here and just play that.
From the top, you have sparkle up starting on your right leg, sparkle up, 2, 3, 4, then you do a swing and a hip starting on the right, swing and a hip, swing and a hip. After that, you bring it around town with your hips, bring it around town and hit. And then you do these arms with a weight shift and a head on the last 2. So 1, 2, 1, 2. So the beginning goes sparkle up, 2, 3, 4, swing and a hip, around town, hit, arms, weight shift arms. From here, you snap the picture, nod, then sparkle down, 2, 3, 4. Then you go up the leg, and pose, point, point. So that last part, you snap the picture, nod, sparkle down, up the leg, and pose, point, point. So the whole dance from the top, a little slow, goes sparkle up, 2, 3, 4, swing and a hip around town, hit, arms, head, arms, snap the picture, head, sparkle down, and up the leg, and pose, point, point. Nice.
So you're briefly on this hiatus, but you have more coming up. You're going to be heading to Texas. You've got concerts on your tour in Austin, San Antonio, Houston, and then you're going to be in Nashville, Tennessee, and wrapping up the tour in Bridgeport, Connecticut, jumping back to the East Coast before you head home. Do you have any expectations or hopes for that part of the tour?
This whole tour has been so educational. As number one, just how it feels to tour. This is my first tour. I've learned a lot about packing as little as possible. The first part of the tour, I had a checked bag and a carry-on. And so for the second half of the tour, it'll just be a carry-on because it's just too much. Also being able to connect with audiences that I never would have interacted with had I not been. I mean, when I did Nevada City, California, I didn't even know Nevada City was a place in California because I mainly only knew about Los Angeles and San Francisco. And Nevada City is such a cool community of people that are, it's a very local and it's a very artistic community. And I really connected with the people there, and it was just so exciting. So for the second half of the tour, I've never been to San Antonio. I've only been to Houston once. So I'm excited to meet new people there. And Nashville, it'll be wonderful to have a tour stop in Music City.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping for the second half of the tour to continue to connect with more people who have an understanding of social media and promotion, because I have my whole education and kind of basis as a person is in the artistic realm of creation and performing. And especially now, there's so many expectations on an artist to promote yourself and package yourself and appeal to people, especially online. And I feel that I've learned a lot, but I still have a long way to go. And so hopefully when I'm in these cities, I'm able to meet with people that understand the game a bit more and can give me some pointers. And yeah, I mean, every show I've learned something new, and I've done many different types of shows on this tour. I've done shows with just backing tracks. I've done shows with the full band. I've done shows by myself at the piano. And I think after this tour, I'll be able to know exactly what the next steps are for my journey.
Let's talk briefly about next steps. And I'm sure right now your main focus is just on the next, several weeks, because you've got this second half of your tour going until early September. But what's next for Izze Stein? Do you have any things on the horizon that you're preparing for?
So one thing about my album is I actually recorded a song for the album that I didn't end up putting on the album because I didn't feel that it fit with the unit of the album. And I ended up performing that song at my Los Angeles show. And afterwards, people were coming up to me and saying, that was my favorite song of the show.
Wow.
And so when that happened, I thought, well, I really ought to release this song then. So I'm hoping in the fall to release the last song of, I'll say the topic, because it's not technically going to be on the album. So that's going to be a whole couple months of promotion and storytelling. And then, of course, having more music out. And then my hope, I've started to plant some seeds in figuring out how I'm going to make my next album happen. And there's a lot of possibilities for that because I've been doing the independent artist route and it's been really educational and fulfilling. And I've grown a lot on this journey. I've started to dabble in conversations about what the label route might look like. And I think more and more I'm open to it because what you get with a label is a support and a lot of resources and connections. And I think I've loved doing it all myself. And I think I would be able to do even more if I had a support system with me. But I still don't know if I'm going to actually go fully on the label route or if I'm going to continue to be an independent artist. So that's something for my next album. It's definitely, that's one of my main questions. In what way is it going to make the most sense to make it happen? But for the record, the songs on the next album are written. So it's just a matter of making it happen.
All right.
Yeah.
And you have some of the songs that are on Questions have music videos that accompany them. And I know producing music videos is another project in and of itself. But do you foresee adding any additional music videos for the songs that are already out there?
So the Body of Gold videos that I've been doing, I am hoping to create something fun with that at the end of the summer. So like, look out, don't look out for that. We'll see. And and the show that I did in Los Angeles, which was actually, it was a bit of I took a risk with that show. I took 30 minutes of the album, and I just strung the instrumentals together, and I just sat on a stool with a microphone and performed the whole thing, just me, interspersed with spoken word poetry of relevant topics in related to the album. And it went really much better than I anticipated, and so I'm considering also finding a way to have that be, in a way, a live performance of my album that I'll then post online. So that would also be probably later in the fall. Yeah, but for music videos, I mean, I'm definitely open to it happening. It's just right now I'm focused on promoting what I already have, and then also starting to plant the seeds for the next project.
That sounds great. We want to mention a couple of things here, and we'll be posting the links as well. But if you go to Izze's website, which is izzestein.com, and we'll post the link, you will find information about the remainder of her tour coming up beginning August 17th in Austin and finishing up on September 9th in Bridgeport, Connecticut, with several places in between. We'll post the link to the album Questions. We shared that quite a bit back in February, but we're going to continue to push that. People need to hear your music, Izze. They really do. And then as well, Izze's YouTube channel, which is easy to find by just doing a search for Izze Stein, but we'll post that link as well. And you're going to find a lot of those fun videos, including some of the stuff that we shared here today. But Izze Stein, thank you so much for coming back. We always enjoy you coming to Coffee Breaks with Steve and having a conversation with us. You're amazing as a singer. You're just amazing as a person, and your desire to make a difference in your world is something that inspires us as well.
Thank you, Steve. It's always so much fun to be here. It's a pleasure.
All right. We'll look forward to the next time.
Yes, excellent.
All right. Another excellent conversation. Izze is so energetic. Somebody mentioned earlier that when we were sharing the clip from her TV appearance in Sacramento, it says she just looks like she's having so much fun. And I just say any interaction that we've had with Izze on this show, having an opportunity to meet and spend time with her in person in New York, she just, that's her personality. I mean, it's when you see Izze perform, she certainly can really bring it. She's done an entire concert as a tribute to Amy Winehouse, where she's doing Amy Winehouse music, and really, she just really channels Amy Winehouse in those concerts. But when you see her perform as Izze Stein, she still brings that persona. But that's Izze. What you see is what you get. And when you have an opportunity to meet her live, what you saw here is Izze Stein. And I just so appreciate her energy. I appreciate her art and really just who she is. So thank you, Izze, for taking the time to join us once again, and just continuing to wish Izze the very best on her tour and on her future projects. I want to share a little bit about what's coming up on Coffee Breaks with Steve in the next few weeks. And by the way, we did post, let me just stop and say, we did post links to Izze's website, to her YouTube channel a couple of times, and we did also post the specific link to the tutorial on her YouTube channel for the Body of Gold dance. And if you missed that, if you go to her YouTube channel and just look at the videos, somewhere in there and a few videos down, you will find that. You'll also find especially in the short videos on her YouTube channel, a lot of those individual moments where she is doing the Body of Gold dance herself in different venues, as well as getting other people that she has recruited to do it, or in some cases just saw her recording and watched her and then stepped up and did it with her. It's really fun to watch. And those are some of the videos that she's thinking about putting together in a montage music video. All right, here's what's coming up on Coffee Breaks in the next few weeks. Next week, Kim Baker is going to be with us to talk about mindfulness. It's something that she has been spending some time on her own to really look into. What is mindfulness? What is that process of kind of looking inward and reflecting on our own inner self and the self-care and some of the things that occur there? So Kim will be on live next week to join us and to talk about that. We're looking forward to that very much, as we always do when Kim is with us. And then Carol and I are getting ready to take a trip. And we do that sometimes. We travel, and we're going to be gone for a few weeks. And during that time, Shalane and Carissa are going to be stepping in to host Coffee Breaks with Steve, which to me that's not a substitute. It's like when they are on, to me, those are the prime times to be tuning in and watching this. You don't have to stare at me. You can get the very best of Coffee Breaks with Shalane and Carissa. And Shalane's going to have the first couple weeks of that on the 16th and the 23rd. And on the 16th, Shalane will be joined by Summer Lee Carlson, who is a musical artist, singer, songwriter, who is from the United States, but now lives in Cambodia. And it'll be a great conversation. You're going to get a chance to hear from Summer and hear about her music and hear about her life and what it's like to be living as an expat overseas. And then on the 23rd, Lisa Steele, who's been on the show several times, is going to be joining Shalane, and that one's going to be interesting as well. And you'll be finding out very soon what else is going to be going on during that time, as Carissa will also be sharing some time as a host on the show. So continue to stay tuned for that information, and please tune in when they are hosting the show. And then we've got some things already lined up when Carol and I get back. I've already got some conversations lined up with some people for the latter part of September. I love it when somebody uses latter in a sentence. The latter part of September and even into October. So we'll be sharing more about that as we get closer to that time. We've talked about this recently, and we're still pursuing this. One of the things we would like to be presenting later in the fall is an episode where we have a panel on talking about what it's like to be part of a book club. So if you are or have been a member of a book club, or you know someone who has, can you get in touch with us directly or forward the information or make an introduction to someone you know who you think might be good for this? We will follow up and talk to these people and put together a panel conversation around what it's like to be part of a book club. What are the pros? What are the cons? What books have really jumped out at you that you didn't expect to really influence you because you were part of a book club? What advice do you give to people who might be thinking about joining or putting together a book club? So you can email us at cbwsteve@comcast.net with the information you see here on the screen, and or use that email address to make an introduction to someone who you think might be good to have on that panel. We're looking for 3 or 4 people who can join us. We'll record the episode ahead of time and keep you posted on how that is going. And then we'd like to hear from you. What are the topics you'd like for us to be talking about? Who are the guests you'd like to see on the show? You can reach out to us with your ideas and, again, make introductions if you know someone who you think would be a great guest for this show by sending us an email to cbwsteve@comcast.net, and we will follow up on that. 6+ years, 282 episodes, 150 of those, more than half, with guests, and 100 individuals have joined us as guests on this show. That is something that we are both proud of and humbled by. So thank you to each and every person who has joined us. Thank you to all of you for being a part of it. That is amazing. And then a reminder that we do have a YouTube channel as well for Coffee Breaks. And we would love to have you be a subscriber to that channel. And we would also love to have you share that with other people who may not tune in here on Facebook and join in the chat, but may benefit from, enjoy seeing some of our videos, some of our guests, some of our topics. And we're putting the link in here that you can use to make sure that you get on there and subscribe, that you watch some of our videos there, that you pass that along to other people so that we can make ourselves more visible, so that people like Izze Stein become more visible to people around the country and around the world, because I think you'll agree, Izze and her music and other people we have featured on the show need to be out there for people to see and experience. All right, listen, thank you. It is time. It is a little past time to be letting you go for the rest of Saturday, and to go ourselves. And we just want to once again thank you for taking the time to be here. for joining us, for sitting around our virtual coffee table and joining the conversation. Remember that there is just so much that we can do around us and so many people that we can touch because of our passions, because of our voice, because of our hands and feet. So please find a way to make a difference in your world this week. God bless you. Have a great week. We'll see you next time on Coffee Breaks with Steve.